will they? Interesting. Quite sad.
Sad? Are you finally getting soft on us, Bill?
Bill's getting a little bit misty-eyed as he recollects points of training.
Claudia, Constantinople is a place as diverse and colorful as one could imagine. But it is a troubled city too. A rebellious faction of Byzantine Templars still fights to retain influence. And the recent attacks have delayed my search for the Marsyaf keys. But this will not last. As soon as I am...
So, as you see, bringing you very quickly up to date. Entering sequence 3, Lost and Found. Ezio has, as we saw in the last episode, helped out in a den defense and also retaking of a den.
How did we do?
We have won the day and recovered our den. But we lost a few friends in this fight.
So much death for so little gain.
You have some experience recruiting new assassins, do you not?
More than a little.
The people here are quite sick of these Templar attacks. Can you turn on your charms and find us a few more recruits?
See, but this den will not do for training them. Not.
Let's just access this and we'll show you what we've got. As you can see on the left side, we actually have our primary weapons and our secondary weapons. So we have our poison darts, our hidden gun, obviously the ability to throw money, throwing knives and cherry bombs. So we can obviously add additional bombs in here. On the left hand side we have our medicine, our poison blade, hook blade, which is an upgrade from the standard dual blade that Ezio had during the first and second games. We also have the assassin Yatagan sword and also our fist as our primary weapons. We do have, as you can see, that we can't actually select at the moment, a couple of open options. And in the center, obviously, we have our shortcuts. So, obviously, our poison darts, our throw knives, hidden blades, and our health are all on those options. Obviously, with the health, it is something that we're going to try and use less of. So, what we are going to do is actually put our cherry bombs into this option by just obviously, now that it's highlighted and selected in red, pressing it down on the D-pad, and as you can see, it has gone in. So that all taken, let's shoot over to the map and we'll see exactly what we have to work with. Now, as with any Assassin's Creed game, especially with most of the games, as you can see, most of the map is highlighted out. We have these icons here, which are viewpoints, and underneath it we have a Templar den, which is why it looks like the top of this with a little building underneath it. As you can see, a Templar den. We also have our mercenary HQ, a mercenary assignment. Over here we have a Romani HQ, and obviously the second part of their HQ. A lot of the buildings like this are actually locked at the moment, so we're going to have to work on trying to unlock these. But these will come obviously when we take out the Templar dens. We also have just here a Piri Riez. Piri Riez is someone that we're going to get to know and love in a brother type of fashion, as he's going to help us, as you can tell by the icons, with our bomb making. We have the Grand Bazaar, so just like Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, we have the option of, when we have enough money, to actually buy certain buildings. Obviously we've got the bank and the blacksmith. Just here we have a bookshop, which is going to come in extremely handy, and I will show you guys a little bit later in regards to that as well. We also have the tunnel entrance system from Assassin's Creed 2, which is coming. Just here we have an assassin den, so just like the Templar den, which has a little building, obviously we'll have a little assassin symbol in a white circle over the top of one of our dens. Just here we have an empty faction building, and again our tailor, blacksmith, banker, docks are. And over here we have the ferry, which will actually take us over to the other part of the city. And as you can see, this is pretty much where we were to start off with, and this is actually the Galata Assassins headquarters, and that is actually where we need to go. But just here we have obviously our memory star, so this is where we are going to be heading in a moment. Some of you may have already spotted this, but we have already unlocked a hidden tomb, and that we will obviously be dealing with a little bit later once Ezio has a few more armaments and a little bit more of armor. We also have these, as within all of the Assassin's Creed games, there are hidden chests. This is actually showing up at the moment because it's obviously going to be the closest one. So we are going to go and grab that, because at the moment, as you can see, we've got just under 2,000 acre, which is the currency reign in the actual game itself. Templar awareness, illegal actions will make Templars aware of the assassins, so we want to try and keep that down to a minimum. As you would have seen from a lot of the other games, I do spend quite a bit of time running around. Now obviously, as you can hear, there is a little jingle which does indicate the chest, and here the chest is. Now as you can see, the triangle button obviously brings in our options to the bomb, and obviously the cherry bomb, what I've just thrown, will obviously make, as you heard, a noise. The options to loot are still with Assassin's Creed Revelations on the O button, as they are with most of the games. And as you can see, impact shells is one of the items that we've actually got here, because this is actually a bomb crafting chest. Now you'll notice that even though I've got that chest, the actual chest that we're locked onto is still highlighted. So we're actually going to make our way up here, and we're actually going to try and find this chest. Now I've got a funny thing. Come on, Ezio. There we go. It's weird because I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins for a little while and I seem to have forgotten most of the buttons. Now, just here, obviously as you can see, Ezio is now making his way down. Obviously the climbing here is going to be slightly different to how it is in obviously what you've seen in Origins. But the chest is a chest. Now here is the chest, and obviously you can see it's a slightly different design to a chest, but it has given us again 3 fuse shells, as well as a little bit of coinage, which has taken us up to 2,128 coins. You can obviously see, as I mentioned a moment ago, the Templar tomb that is recently been unlocked, and also our icon indicating where we need to go for our main memory start. Obviously you'll also notice on the mini-map there's a little yellow dot walking around. That little yellow dot is one grouping of guards. Now there are, as you would have heard, a group of Templar Byzantine people that are trying to keep control of their area. And as you'll see, just to the right hand side of the tip of the arrow on the minimap, there is a faded yellow dot. Now if I actually get Ezio to climb up using the hook blade, you'll notice that that little yellow dot has increased, and that is this guy here, who is one of the Byzantine Templar Knights. Obviously anyone in red is one of the guards that is part of the, I was going to say emperor, I don't know if he's an emperor or king, I don't know how they actually work the royal family in here, but the young man that we saw earlier in regards to onto the boat in the first episode is actually part of the royalty. This you won't actually find out later until much later in the game. And as you can see, a jump like that hasn't done as much damage to Ezio as what it would have done to Bayek, but you need to consider that the way the games themselves work is a lot different. And it is going to be a case of trying to work out which ones are in which areas and which ones to attack and which ones not to attack. If you are close to any of the yellow dots and they attack, and you can get yourself close to a red dot, the yellow and red dots, the two different factions of guards, will actually fight and allow you to actually get out. Now, as you can see, we have taken and fought one of these banks. As you can see, 2 of 4 banks renovated. And hitting circle will actually bring us into the bank screen, just like it did with Assassin's Creed 2 and also Brotherhood. At the moment, the vault capacity is 1350 acre out of a total of 7500. So we are going to withdraw that, which will basically pay us back for purchasing the bank itself. As you can see across the minimap, we obviously have the hammer and the cotton bud, which indicates the tailor and obviously the blacksmith. Now, considering that we need armor and additional weapons, we are going to need to obviously try and get through the game a little bit quick, obviously to get that money that we're earning a little bit higher. Ooh, I don't know if I'll do it from here, but there is a haystack down there. Yep, there we go, an easy way down. And just here, as with Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, we have the blacksmith. Renovating the blacksmith will give us armor, weapons and ammunition, which can be bought here, and renovating the blacksmith shops leads to discounts and more items to be purchased. Exactly the same as Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, so everything pretty much works exactly the same way here as it did in Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 2. So when it comes to shops like this,
I have some of the best equipment in all the district.
it's going to be extremely handy. Obviously, using the triangle button is going to be something that we are going to need to watch, obviously, because as you see, we now have additional weapons that are placed on the triangle button. So, obviously, first things first, repair our armor. Have a look, see if there's anything else we can purchase. We have the leather bracers, which obviously go on the forearms, so we're definitely going to be buying them. Weapons, we now have a few options. Obviously, lack of funds is going to be your main problem at the moment. The Florentine falchion, the Persian shamshir, obviously the bearded axe, and the Perusian warhammer being the cheapest of the options. With regards to small weapons, we obviously have the Kurdish jambaya. This is again one of the knives that we will have throughout the game. The Macedonian dagger, as well as the standard stiletto. I was always kind of purchased at the start of the game the cheapest option, so you've got as much weaponry as possible, because in one, I think it's the second video, if you actually go back and watch it, then you'll notice that there's a guy that actually charges Ezio, and Ezio actually kills him. There are mercenaries in the game that will actually attack. If you can actually kill them, you do get quite a bit of a bonus. Kind of works a bit like the Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood online systems did, where if you was running around and there was a hidden assassin, you would have a whisper, or you would hear like a whisper talking, which would indicate that somebody was close by and you needed to hide. So you get this kind of thing as well. Obviously we have the crossbow option, This is 22,080 acre, but as you can see, is a very, very nice design. Fires crossbow bolts with speed and accuracy to kill targets at long ranges, and is extremely, extremely handy early on in the game. Obviously, we have our ammunition, so our throwing knives, and as you can see, at the moment we can only hold 5, and obviously our bullets, which we have full of at the moment. Obviously, you can also buy, when you have enough money, fuse shells, Indian gunpowder, pyrite coins. You can also, some areas, sell some of these items. But that has now left us with 264 acre, so we won't be able to basically purchase any other items or unlock, like this over here, the bookstore, because we just don't have the funds to do so this early in the game. So we need to continue with our storyline. So scaffolding. Tap 0 in high profile when near the scaffolding to pull it down. You can also kill guards by throwing them into it. As you can see just here, like we did
at heretic assassin hands.
We have a herald. We can obviously attempt to bribe him. It's only 100 acre, but we can obviously pinch it back. So, quick switch out to fifth. Give the guy a hit, and as you can see, he'll do a runner. The guards won't actually attack you if you hit someone bare fist. It is only when you use a weapon the guards will actually get involved. So exactly the same as it was before. Obviously, with no guards about, obviously antagonise them. And obviously staying around is not a good idea. That being said, we're actually going to take to the roofs because it's actually a lot easier and quicker to get across the city up on the roofs. So as you can see, we also have the options of running across some chests. So that's going to give us 6 phosphor. As you guys can see, we also have a pigeon group in here, which will always indicate a free fall area. So as you can see, we are down by the docks now. High profile attack.
I have done nothing.
And as you can see, this guy is extremely strong, but obviously not good enough for Ezio. And as you can see, our icon on the left hand side has slightly increased the red bar around it, obviously indicating that our notoriety is increasing. When that has gone fully red, so the entire border and inside is completely red, you will obviously have full notoriety, and then you need to look at trying to obviously decrease it. Now this is where our next main memory
Are you a compassionate man,
starts up.
Can you help me? That I stole fruit from a vendor, I will not deny, but only because my hunger has trumped my honesty. Bring me the key to these chains, and I will repay you tenfold.
So, the prisoner, a man has been arrested for stealing food. Show him some mercy. We need to pickpocket the guard to retrieve the key. So, first things first, our notoriety isn't that high. Hopefully they will only take notice and not do anything in regards to actually trying to get hold of us. But as you can see, here are some guards. So I'm going to hold down the X button to increase Ezio's walking speed. But obviously, that's not going to be an option anymore. So, first things first, we will take our sword. Yep, just make sure we have a sword. Ouch. So, as you can see, Ezio still has the ability to perform our little sacred finishers. He can still block, he can take a hit to the groin, but it's not going to stop him. And then obviously with the sword put away, he will revert directly to hand-to-hand weaponry. So, obviously having just a hidden blade isn't enough, so what we are going to do is we're actually going to switch the hidden blade and keep it exactly where it is, and switch out our cherry bombs for our sword. So we've got our main primary weapons, top and bottom, and our secondary weapons, which are left and right, which are obviously the poison dart and the throwing knives. So that way we can actually make sure that everything that we're going to need is actually set up. As you can see, the cherry bombs, because they were selected, have come up. We have one. There's our poison darts, and obviously our throwing knives. So the guards, even as strong as these guys are, with the amount of armor that these guys have, are not willing to obviously take on someone that has the skill that Ezio has, and as you saw, just do a runner. Obviously, while we loot these guys, we are obtaining items to use for bomb making, and obviously as you can see, our medicine, poison vials, throwing knives, bullets, all of our stuff is actually being refilled. So it actually makes it slightly different if...
Are you a compassionate man, Effendi? Can you help me? That I stole fruit from a vendor, I will not deny. But only because my hunger has trumped my honesty. Bring me the key to these chains, and I will repay you tenfold.
But it also does mean...
Wait right here.
We will accept this.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So we now need to find the main guard, and as you can see, he is right up here. So even though we've had our little coup with the guards, the main guard, as you can see, is quite some distance away. So it still has the run and the fast run ability. And as you can see, is now starting to make use of the hidden hook blade option. So obviously we have a guy just here that we need to make sure we don't annoy too much, considering he has a gun. If I had the crossbow, I would really like to take him out, but he appears to have made his way down to the ground. So we need to obviously find this guy that we're looking for. So holding L3 will allow us to indicate the eagle vision. Now that is most likely the target, and as you can see, he's highlighted in a gold area or shroud. So that's an easy way of dealing with that guy. Obviously we've got a little bit of company down below. When we get the option of taking out some of the other bombs and using them, when you get groups like that, dealing with them will be a lot easier. Ezio, I do not want you jumping off the edge of the building. Get up here. So, Ezio, behave. If you can get this just right, obviously Ezio does not want to do this at the moment. So, when in doubt, cheat. We're going to actually climb in. And we have to steal this. Now, as you can see, I've used Ezio's charge ability to charge his throwing knife, which is actually taking that guy out. There are, by the looks of it, no other people up here, but there are quite a few red dots about. So, I'm going to drop down here, and as you can see, this guy is currently hidden. And here we have some of the Janissary guards. And as you can see just here, we have a couple of the red guards. We make our way around. Excuse me, my dear.
I know I've seen him before. You, with the hood. Hey, you. Where's him up?
A very easy and quick way of dealing with them. Obviously, as you saw.
Oh, disgusting. Perverted. Evil. Well done. Well done. Smite them mightily.
Right, you've had me 2 hits. Give me a kick. Ezio, get up. Right. Okay. That's it.
And get down the field.
So these guards, again, easily taken care of. As you can see, the icon next to our little assassin symbol with the red border has completely decreased, which means our armor does need to be now repaired. Obviously we need money to be able to do that. So, as well as obviously filling any of the additional options of weapons that we have used, we are, by doing this, obviously fulfilling any missing equipment,
Oh, Father, is that
as
you?
well as
How did he
obviously
escape?
so we obviously have this guy just here. One, two,
Do the well to innocent bystander.
and as you can see, the guy is still there. Luckily I managed to get away quick enough.
Katara, we do the killing around here. I want to fight
Hopefully.
whoever did this. Someone start talking. Hold up, man. Damn it. Get
Come
out
on.
of here.
Oh, the stench. Bowels. Opened. Disgusting.
As you can see, we can now make our way up. Optional objective completed. Pickpocket the guard to retrieve the key, which is what we've done. Now that tells me he's actually got a heavy attack. 2, 3 throwing knives
Over here. Guard. Please don't let me leave.
to actually take this guy out. Because we have pickpocketed him, we're not going to get anything out of him. I don't know if we managed to get this guy. We did. So we're going to throw him over here as well. Just get rid of him out of the way. And the other guy, where is he? Just here. We didn't actually pickpocket this guy, so quick raid of his pockets. Throwing knives, salt, petra. Oh, and it's just missed the enter the walkway.
Almost looks real.
So as you can see, we can also also swim. Now, it's early in the game. I'm not worried too much in regards to notoriety. Him. Him. And unfortunately, we actually hit the wall with that particular throwing knife. So, one throwing knife wasted. But as you can see, we actually got 3 throwing knives from that guy. So, our throwing knives are actually full at the moment. And at the moment, all we are doing is obviously obtaining money, making sure everything's full, and obviously obtaining additional items in regards to making bombs later on. So obviously, as you can see, some of the items coming up, things like lamb's blood, datura powder, as well as obviously the fuse shells. Now obviously, because like Assassin's Creed 2, we have a slight increase on the notoriety, we have a noble who is just here. So we deal with the guards, and we deal with him. Templar awareness is now down, and as you will see, the red bar has actually been incredibly reduced. So, skunk oil. Apart from money, we've got skunk oil, phosphorus as well. And off this gentleman, I'm hoping a lot more money. 82 Aka, which has actually put us up to 1,132, which isn't too bad. It does allow us obviously to repair our armour, because it is going to be required. But obviously, first things first,
I will return to the merchant I robbed and show him the same kindness.
After you have cleared your conscience, amigo, consider joining our cause. To be an honest man, one needs honest work.
I would be honored. Sauron.
And that is 150 Acre earned, 100% sync because we pickpocketed the guard, and also he has joined the assassins, so he will turn up at the Galata Den to actually begin his training. So we can save citizens from danger. The Thief faction challenges are now unlocked, as well as the Romani faction, as well as the Assassins faction and the Mercenary faction. I completely forgot that. So, the revenue deposit has been made into the bank of 1,925 Acre, and as you can see, we have another noble. Now, a lot of you may wonder how I was able to actually deflect that. I actually knew that was coming. If you paid special attention, you would have heard the whispers, which indicated that he was literally watching us, just like it did in the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood online option. Now, we did have a noble who was obviously walking this way. Unfortunately, he seems to have slipped out. But the Templar Knights already know that Ezio is here from his little run-in Masyaf, which is why the mercenaries are now trying to obviously take him out. Unfortunately, even though this guy is dressed like a mercenary, you can't really attempt a preemptive attack on them, because they literally could. Making my way over to, sorry buddy,
I was actually just on my way home.
The bank that we unlocked earlier, which should be just here. Here we go. So every 20 minutes or so, you will have a deposit into the bank. And as you can see, as I explained earlier, we currently have 1925 acre, which is your standard deposit at this current moment in time. Hopefully this does increase when you unlock, obviously, new options. But first things first, we need to try and get this increased. So as you would have seen, we unlocked the bank and the blacksmith earlier. So the blacksmith, who is just here, we need to visit, obviously, to repair our armor. So that has now been done. Obviously, we still do not have any additional armor. We do have a slightly better sword, because this is the sword that we have at the moment. 1 damage, 2 on speed and 1 on deflection. And obviously the Prussian Warhammer is slightly better, as you can see with the plus numbers and obviously the indicators, as well as the Valcon, the Persian Shamsir even. So this is 2,689. Our current pouch is at 2,648, which means we'll have roughly 2,000 acre left. So we are going to do this because it is going to make things slightly easier when we get into a sword fight. So obviously we have just here, the option to buy the tailor. So we're going to do this. As you saw, it's 900 acre, and this is actually going to increase, as I said, the option, but it also, apart from increasing the money that we're going to earn from the city, again, 2 of 15 tailors, there's quite a few tailors around, as well as the blacksmiths and the doctors, and obviously the bookshop, that's the one I was thinking of. Here we can obviously increase the amount of parachutes we currently hold. At the moment we only have 1. We don't really have enough money as such to do everything that we're going to need. So these I'm not going to be too worried about. To take all of them, it is going to cost 784 acre, which is going to take most of what we actually have at the moment. We do have the option of dyeing our clothing. So we have the Algerian silver, Egyptian blue, and as you can see, it is mainly the waistband that is changing colour. Some of the options like this we don't have enough money for at this moment in time, which is why they are kind of marked out. But as you can see, there are definitely quite a few here. This is just going to basically run down to your own personal opinion on which one's which. Increase the maximum number of medicine vials held. Increase our knife pouch, and also apply a heavy sheath. So the first thing we will be trying to do is obviously upgrade the knife belt, because more pro knives means better options. If you remember, we also have just up here
We finished squeezing the
faction building, and we don't have £1,200 to renovate this particular building at the moment, so we're not going to actually be able to do that. However, if we take a quick run down here and dive through here, we have a bookshop. So we can renovate this bookshop for 800 acre. So we're definitely going to do this. The bookshops are a bit like the art merchants. So again, our income has increased to 2,400, where we can buy books and or treasure maps. So we are going to dive in very, very quickly, because it's not actually the books which we're after. It's actually the treasure maps. So, as you can see, each treasure map has got its own indicator, and each treasure map has its own value. At the moment, we're going to be in mainly the Imperial and Glass areas. So, the Imperial District Treasure Map 1 is 949 acre, 1380 for the second, 828 acre for the Galata Treasure Map, 1323 for the second. The Bayezid District Map, Map 1 is 874. Again, the second one increases, and again the Constantine District is 897, and an increase on the second one. The only one that we have that is more expensive than any of the tier 2 maps, or sorry, the tier 1 maps, is the Arsenal treasure map, and that's because it's only one solid area.
Next time, so, I'm sure.
We will be getting to a point of where we purchase those and obviously increase the amount of options we can see on the map, to which means more gameplay. As I say, more gameplay, unlocking of items, and earn money, so we can obviously increase more of the city. Now, as I run around here, you will notice there we go. Apart from obviously this chest just here, which contains some sulfur, we have a ladder. If we climb the ladder, this is actually putting us right on the edge of an area, and as you can see, we are now on the edge of said area. Said area, if we go to the map, is literally just here. Now this isn't seen as of yet because there is a viewpoint that we need to obviously obtain. With said viewpoint being obtained, we will be able to see exactly what this is. But as you can see, we obviously need to get to said viewpoint. Now, unlike Assassin's Creed Origins, we don't have the option of actually dropping and hiding stealthily in like short grass. All we can do is this, which is jump into bushes. Once you're in a bush, it's literally just accessing the run option to actually be able to exit said bush. As you'll also notice, the red area has now increased in colour as we get further into it. And as you can see, the hook blade is now coming into its own, of where we are seriously in need of its abilities. So obviously we're going to need to go further up, and as you can see, the ability to use the hook blade is becoming more and more apparent. And I'm just hoping Ezio just doesn't do a jump from here, especially backwards. So we've reached the top, and there, believe it or not, is our viewpoint. So as we get Ezio to make his way down the front, I mean, I could jump it, but we need to make sure that Ezio is actually going to land on it. And now we have L3 to synchronize, which is what we haven't seen yet in the video, in the videos in relation to Assassin's Creed Revelations. And as you can see, the map has now been updated. There is a Borgia Curia, and obviously there is our leap of faith point. have poisoned the actual Borgia money courier. Now obviously with so as you can see, we've managed to obviously take him out. We've earned a trophy, tax evasion, by taking him out. But our notoriety has gone straight through the roof. So that being said, what we're going to need to do now is try and keep away from any guards that we do see, because they will instantly attack on sight. So the easiest way to actually do this is to obviously take to the roofs. As you can see just here, there is now, and it looks like he's actually going out underneath us. He is actually underneath us. There he is.
Soon they will outnumber us. Again, they're probably more useful to the Empire than we are. Now that was a sorry-looking whore. Won't be selling her goods for a while. Even for you, that.
And as you can see, these guys are now paying attention to us. So we are going to need to obviously get out of here to the point of where we can obviously see what's going on. Because the guy has been poisoned, obviously as you can see, the poison is now starting to take effect.
Wait, I have seen him before. Pray for a swift death!
Now as you can see, these guys are actually Janissaries, which are the Byzantine Supreme Fighting Force. As you can see, Ezio is locking on. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But as you can see, their swordplay is extremely good. I think my best option at this moment in time is to run.
You're my friends this day.
Now, as silly as it sounds, running back this way may not be what a lot of people would do, but I'm actually trying to get up. I don't particularly want to actually get too far ahead. No, that is not what I really want to do.
I mean, I'm amazed.
How long before you tire? He's too fast. Damn! He's too fast. Your final torment will linger.
So as you can see, I have
Paid for that. Try to
Called
kill
in.
the man who catches him.
an assassin recruit who unfortunately
Come, give us a kiss. Where has he gone?
is not going to be much help. As you can see, they are extremely quick.
Aha! Now we have you.
And extremely strong. thanks to my assassin's recruit, even though he is literally a brand new recruit,
surely God torments this despicable soul for past offense.
he was extremely helpful and extremely handy. Unfortunately, as you can see, our notoriety is still extremely high, and that is a guy that we're going to need to take out. Now, it does unfortunately... No, I don't want to do that. Look like we have no throw nose. We have a couple of bombs. That we the caltrop bomb is a bomb that we've actually picked up. It's not one we've actually crafted. But it's it's going to be one of those things where we will have to wait and see if we have a need for it. I think my best option at the moment is to take obviously my... Sorry, wrong one. Poison darts and my gun. And we'll switch out our throw knives at the moment. Although there's a high possibility... Actually, let me just... See, I can't even select it back. Right, so we'll do that. We'll select our medicine onto there. These guards are just normal type guards.
Just go.
I don't want to die.
I want to
You want to play a game? So, couple more guys. Templar status has returned to secret because, as you can see, we've been able to eliminate the higher up guys like normal from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in regards to dropping our notoriety. Obviously, as you can see, our health and armor is pretty low, but obviously we are the splinter bomb. Splinter bomb kills or injures by dispersing an item, normally tax of some form. So quickly loot these guys. And it looks like we've already done that one. There are no others around here that I can see. Tell a light, there's one over there. Whoa, Ezio, behave, get up there. And as you can see, believe it or not, 20 minutes has already gone by. And we've had a drop into our vault already. So, let's have a little look at our map that's now been slightly added to. As you can see, this is the bank that we have at the moment. This is where we are going to need to head back to. Because without heading back to the bank, we won't be able to get the money. We won't be able to add to what we've already got. And we definitely won't be able to add any repairs in regards to our weaponry.
Oh, that's certainly not a common sight.
So as you can see, that outcrop on that particular building is so large, Ezio can't actually climb down. You will get that with regards to certain buildings. When you get buildings that have this like metal top grating as such on them, it is literally just beneficial to run all the way to the edge, because you will at one point come to the edge of the building, which you will actually be able to climb down. And hopefully Ezio can hook as he drops down.
There should be a law proscribing such things.
So as you guys can see, no damage taken when he obviously takes a hit halfway down. This guy is not a janissary, he is just one of their standard military. Ouch. You have a gun. Guess what? So do I. So, apart from making a lot of noise, bullet, throwing knife, phosphorus, another throwing knife, so our throwing knives are now full. And it's literally just a case of continuing to make our way back down to the bank, which is literally just here. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little run through in regards to getting started and unlocking some of the options in regards to the bookstore, the bank, I was going to say the mercenary shop, but it's not the mercenary shop, it's the blacksmith as well as the tailors. Obviously, as you can see, the record book does kind of show what you can obviously obtain. As I mentioned earlier, there are landmarks we can obviously obtain. We can do renovations on the Romany, thief and mercenary buildings, and they will obviously give us an income into the vault every 20 minutes, as well as the landmarks. Obviously with the blacksmith, doctor, tailor, bookshop and the bank, the blacksmith, the tailor and the bookshop have 15 shops, the doctor and the bank have 14, and as you can see, every 20 minutes again you will have an income come in of so much acca per particular avenue of store, whether it be the blacksmith, the doctor, the tailor, the bookshop or the bank. And we also have the summary. So the Glata Den at the moment gives us nothing. The Imperial North Den gives us 1100. There is others that are Imperial South Den. We will be obviously earning an income from them as well. So, as you would have seen with the later episodes of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood game that we did, if you haven't seen it, it is in the playlist, so go back, check them out. Make sure, like you do with these videos, that you leave a like on them, leave comments on them, because I'll read all the comments that are placed when people do place them. If the comments are worthy of a response, or they are given it in such a way that generates a response, I will place a response onto that. Unfortunately, it may not be immediate because of the amount of work that I do, but obviously everything does come through to my phone, so I can keep up to date with everything on my phone, and obviously post as responses when I get time at home to keep everything up to date. As I've said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. The last thing we're going to do for this video is obviously get this. So as you can see, we now have 5,400 acca, which is going to set us up for our next video in relation to obviously upgrading Ezio's armor if we have anything upgradable, as well as obviously obtaining some additional weaponry, and depending on how much money we can earn from the videos, seeing if we can get that crossbow a little bit earlier than normal. But as I've said, we will check this out in our next video. Killnar 2002 is checking out. We'll see you either in another live stream video or a hopefully to come soon Pokemon Go video. See you later, guys. Don't forget, make sure you leave a like on the video, make sure you leave comments below and subscribe to our channel. Keep up to date with everything that's going on, and you'll be notified instantaneously when we do our live streams, when we get our new computer, do a complete unboxing for you guys in regards to that, getting that up and running, doing our videos, everything will come through on the notifications, so make sure you hit the notification bell just down by the subscribe button. See you later, guys. Bye bye.